Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Prop Wiz. I'm your host, the Wiz. I just got home from watching the movie The Crow. Now, I know usually I do my out-of-theater reviews right out of the theater, but I wanted to use the ride home and take the time to kind of process this film that I watched because I had some mixed feelings. Even as I was watching it, man, I was kind of going back and forth whether I liked this film or not. So I'm going to break it down, no spoilers. Basically, I would say the first 30 minutes was all build up. I didn't like it, yo. I'm not gonna lie, man. There was times within the first 30 minutes, probably the first 20 minutes that I actually thought about walking out. I say about 30 minutes in, the movie started getting interesting and genuinely interesting. Not like just, oh, let me see what it kind of grabbed me a little bit. There was some things that happened that was like, okay, this look kind of interesting, man. Let me sit here for a little while longer and see where this goes. As soon as it caught my interest, then it would take a couple of steps back, man. So it was one of those things that would take a step forward, 2 steps back, and it was a very, very weird movie. And of course, man, we already had the challenge of trying to watch this, or me personally had that challenge of trying to watch this and not think about the original movie, which I knew was going to be a near impossible task. And you get there, and it was an impossible task, man. You couldn't help but think about how groundbreaking visually that last movie was. And so what was happening with this one, there were some things that were artsy. Again, the first 30 minutes was not good to me, but I can see where they were probably trying to be, I don't know, it felt like an independent, like an artsy kind of thing they were doing. And it just wasn't working out. Just visually wise, the original Crow is just more visually stunning, was more different for that time period. Like, it was very stylized photos. You had or film, I'm sorry, but you had the fake backgrounds, the I don't know. I can't explain it, dude. It was just crazy then and jolting at that time, but it was a lot easier to get used to that than this, where it felt like they were purposely trying to be visually cool, you know? And at the same time, purposely trying to be different than the original. All that being said, the love story was cool. The Crow parts, the actual Crow, him getting into the character, just wasn't consistent. And I felt like there was a reason, man. It was a couple of points. Like, the third act wasn't the worst. The beginning of the third act, or I was even say the majority of the third act was cool, but it didn't land the ending quite as well. The ending was weird, man. So still processing as I'm talking to you guys now, man. So the ride home didn't even give me a chance to process it fully, whether I like it, because there was definitely some parts that I liked. There was parts, the Crow parts were the best parts of the movie. So the parts when Bill Skarsgård was the Crow, in that Crow character, was the best parts of the movie, but at the same time, it wasn't consistent. So sometimes you would have this Crow that was real cool, that reminded me of the Brandon Lee Crow, but was different enough and respectfully different enough. And then there was some times that was just like, dude, what are you doing? And while we're on the lines of that, I think the most disappointing part was that it wasn't a reboot of the original movie. So I think I did a trailer review, and I suggested that if they only had changed the name of the main character from Eric to something else, that I could probably accept this movie, or the masses probably would accept this movie as just a Crow story versus the Crow that we know from the comic book and from the movie. So along those same lines, not only was it different from the movie, the original movie, but it didn't even reference the source material. It was not like the comic book. This was like a complete departure from both the original film and the comic book in story and concepts on the reasons why. I guess the powers, there were certain things that were the same. It was crazy. They had a couple. The Crow, the actual Crow that flies, was probably, some of the shots looked like it was exact shots from the original. That was the only thing that referenced. Everything else was different, man. So I makes me wonder even more so why you guys didn't just change the name and make it a different character, because you didn't even leave the story the same as Eric Draven's story. It wasn't a reboot in any way that I would understand it now. So that's it, man. It was the music choices, some of the music, very inconsistent, man. And I'm being careful. I'm saying that because I have a feeling that some people might go and watch this movie and like it because of certain scenes. It was very gory, very bloody. They had some cool fight scenes, John Wick type, not stylized, not like martial arts type fighting, but just in the intensity of the fights reminded me of John Wick, certain parts. But then there was some parts that was shot real sloppy. Again, it wasn't very consistent in my opinion, even in that regard. Even in the parts that I liked, it wasn't very consistent. So I don't know what you guys will go see. So I will say this: if you're a fan of the Crow movie, the original movie, if you're a fan of the comic book, you're probably not gonna like this. I'm almost certain you're not gonna like this. If you're new to the Crow series and never seen a Crow movie, I don't know if this movie was good enough even for that. Like I said, I genuinely think that the first 30 minutes was not good. Like, it wasn't a good movie, the first 30 minutes, in my opinion. It was mad corny. But hey, if you've never seen it, go try it, because maybe this wasn't, I'm probably not the target. In fact, I'm pretty sure I'm not the targeted audience for this film. They were probably trying to grab new people. So I'm kind of interested in seeing what someone fresh to this series might go watching and see it fresh. If this is your first time seeing The Crow, you might like it. I don't know. But anyways, man, that's my thought, dude. Overall, I give this movie a 2 out of 5. And the only reason I'm giving it a 2 is because, again, there was some scenes that was well done. They had some scenes that was visually stunning. They had a couple scenes that was just cool to look at. And I do think Bill Skarsgård, man, when he got it right, it was right, but it just wasn't enough, man. So I think 2 out of 5 that's good, man. That's the best I can do for you, yo. Best I can do. But anyways, that's my thought on the 2024 The Crow, the reboot. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Is this something you've already seen? Have you been waiting for it? Have you already canceled out on it? Let me know in the comment sections, man. I feel like I took a hit for the team, yo. I took a hit for y'all. So I went to go see it so you don't have to see it. If you go see it, at this point, it's up to you. But leave me some comments, man. Let me know what you guys think. Also, if you like this video, please take the time to hit the like button. If you haven't already, please subscribe. As always, I love you guys to death, and I'll check you out next time, all right? Peace.